Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Brian, but my friends call me Mr. Chairman, and I have a spinal cord injury. It's been a while since I was up here, and I wanted to come and just give you an update of what I've been doing and all the exciting things that I've been working on. And a good place to start is this weekend. First of all, I hope you guys have been well. You've been keeping safe from all the flash floods that are happening around Kenya and most of Africa actually. You know, we think it's only Kenya, but we've seen reports from places like Malawi and also Tanzania, and I guess Uganda as well. A lot of heavy rainfalls is happening there, so I hope you're keeping safe. So I wanted to come up here and just give you a life update. I wanted to try and start uploading again. I feel like YouTube is a space where sometimes inapeanga mtu uoga to upload stuff, so I felt like maybe I do something brave and try and work on my consistency here on YouTube. So this is the first step. Yeah, so I wanted to start by, let me just position myself proper. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about what I've been up to, and something exciting that I've been doing is that I had my first big partnership, which I'm very proud of. So I started working with Red Bull. Well, not Red Bull, but I was working with their one non-for-profit organization. It's called Wings for Life Foundation, and I was working with Red Bull as the ambassador for the Wings for Life World Run here in Kenya. So the Wings for Life World Run is meant to raise money for the Wings for Life Foundation, which the goal of the foundation is to raise money for a raising money to fund research for a spinal cord injury cure. And as you may have heard, if you don't know me personally, I do have a spinal cord injury, so I felt like this was a match made in heaven. That is a term I keep on using, a match made in heaven, because they are talking about raising money for a cure for something that I have. So it was divine intervention the way we were connected, because I guess they noticed me on TikTok and on Instagram, and they liked the content that I was giving there, and they said this is our guy, and that is how I got to land my first big collaboration. So I'm very happy about that, and so maybe sometime down the line I'll tell you more about how it happened, because it's a beautiful and unique story, and maybe sometime I'll give you more details about that. So we've been working together for around 2 months now, and the culmination of the whole thing was the run, which happened on the 5th of May, just a few days ago from when I'm recording this. So I wanted to take you through my trip there, and what I saw, what I liked, what stuck with me, and all the wonderful people that I met. So I started my trip. If you don't know, I live in Nakuru. Nakuru is 3 hours away from Nairobi. So I started the trip on Saturday. So the run was supposed to be on Sunday. The run was on Sunday. So I started my journey on Saturday, and I got to witness, you'll see me doing this a couple of times. I'm just trying to stretch. I'm seated on my wheelchair. Sometimes I get fatigued, so just bear with me. So I started my trip on Saturday, and what stood out for me on that trip was how much because I've been seeing the news on TV about the flash floods, but I had not seen them myself. So when we were going through Naivasha, they were literal rivers on the side of the road, water was rushing down the sides of the road, and cars couldn't, maji ilikuwa imefika hadi kwa engine level, and people could not even access petrol stations because the water was that high. And it was so frightening and so shocking for me, because sijaiona maji kaa hiyo mingi hivyo. it's not in a river, it's not in a lake. So for me it was something new, and it was just scary thinking about other people maybe who have disabilities, how they are handling this, because I don't know how someone who has like a wheelchair like myself, ama mtu mwenye anatumia crutches, ama mtu mwenye aoni, I don't know how they are navigating being in such situations. So Maze, I just hope you are keeping safe wherever you are. So yeah, I got my first interaction, or my first let's call it an interaction with the flash floods, and it was shocking. That's what I can say. So I didn't have a lot to do on Saturday, just getting to my hotel. But before getting to my hotel, I had to pick up my t-shirt, the one that I was going to wear for the run. I had to pick it up at Westgate Mall, Westgate in Nairobi. So I always have it all mixed up because we have a west side here in Nakuru and there's a Westgate there. So I had not been to Westgate before. It was my first time, and it was such an eerie feeling because we all know there's a dark history with Westgate, because a couple of years ago it was attacked by terrorists, and a lot of people died that day, and the whole country was put to a standstill because like they terrorized not only the people who were in the mall but the entire country. And I remember vividly where I was when it happened. It was in 2013, and I at that time sikuwa nimepata accident. I had not gotten an accident. So my late cousin Kevin and I, we had taken his car and we had driven to Njoro to watch a football match or something. But I guess it was just an excuse to go and have a few pints of beer, because that is just how Kevo was. And I was the designated driver that day. And something funny, that day I dropped him off at Njoro. There is a playground there, and then I had a crush on someone who was in Egerton. So I fueled the car. I added more fuel, like a 300 bob. I drove very fast to Egerton campus, and I didn't see my crush because she was not there. She was away. She had gone home. So yeah, that was a fun memory about. But that is as fun as it gets, because again, very, very dark history there. So I felt a darkness when we got into there, because my heart was so heavy, because I remembered seeing all the videos from the day of when the terrorists came and people were just shouting, scrambling to safety, trying to get away from the bullets if they could. And I just remember seeing the blood on the floor, and I went to I visited the supermarket. I don't know what supermarket was there at the time, but right now it's Carrefour or Carrefour, whatever you want to call it. So I went to Carrefour, and again, very, very heart-rending moment for me. I don't know why, but I just felt the vibe was not right, but I knew and I understood why it was the way it was. So once I got over that feeling, I went to visit a bookshop there. There was a bookshop, and I was looking for Confessions of Nairobi Men and Nairobi Women, but I couldn't get it. The t-shirts had run out, so we had gone there for nothing, but I still got to see the Westgate Mall. Maybe something that I would want to do there is go and watch a movie at the Cinemax there. Maybe my second time, I'll tell you about the first time I watched a movie in cinema. So I went back to the hotel in Westlands. I met up with an old friend. We caught up, and we reminisced about good old times. And then that was it for Saturday. For Sunday now, the run was scheduled for 2 p.m. But the first thing I did when I woke up, I organized some meetings. I wanted to do so much that day, so I wanted to shoot some content with a company called Ace Mobility that provides accessible transport for people who have disabilities, specifically people who use wheelchairs like myself. So they have accessible vehicles with ramps, something that I saw in the US, something really awesome. So for me, I don't have to, with their cars, I don't have to transfer from my wheelchair into the car, which is what I do with the car that we use here at home. So I just drive in, I just roll my wheelchair into the car because it's adjusted for someone like me. And it was fun. We shot some content there, and then we drove to Uhuru Park for the run. That is where it was. And Uhuru Park has been renovated. It's green, it's lush, it's clean. But my friend Bobo, who attended the run as well, anasema too much money was spent but haoni kwenye pesa iko, mainly because she says that the dustbins are repurposed drums, so that doesn't make sense to her. But for me, I don't know, I just felt like they did a really good job, especially in terms of accessibility. As a wheelchair user, you can access it, and you can access all parts of the park. So the run was supposed to start at 2. That's when we started. But before it started, I met some awesome people there. I met a guy called Brayo, who is a gynecologist, let me not say that. I might be spoiling a surprise for someone, but I also met Julio Supercharge. If you know Julio Supercharge is a blind car reviewer and also becoming a close friend of mine. I met my friend and editor Rehab Gashango. I met my very good friend Bobo there, who joined me for the run. A good friend of mine called Boniface Motua. We met on social media. He's also a spinal cord injury survivor. He was shot. He's a policeman. He was shot when he was fighting for the country akiwa huko, was it Somalia? Yeah, akiwa Somalia. I also met a guy called Moham, who also has a spinal cord injury, and he got it. He sustained the injury through a car accident, and he sustained the injury when it was his birthday. So he had bought a car, a Subaru, and then he went to enjoy himself, go and drive fast, and then he got an accident that day. So his injury anniversary is also his birthday. So strange things. So the fun thing about this run is that it's not like other runs. So everybody is going to finish. There is no finish line. The finish line is something called a catcher car, or in our case it was a catcher bike. So when you start the race, you're given like 30 minutes. You start 30 minutes. 30 minutes after you start, the catcher bike now starts, and then it's driving or cycling towards you. So when it gets to you, your race is over. So it's all connected. It's all very clever because it's connected to your app. So you start running, and after 30 minutes, someone starts cycling, and then when they pass you, now your race is over. That is where your finish line is. So for us, we had a bike. We were just going round Uhuru Park. So I had my power wheelchair. I was in the start line with my other wheelchair users, and I also met Nikir, who is a spinal cord injury survivor as well, and also a car race. He's a driver. He races cars, and I guess some of you might know him. He's a safari rally driver who is on a wheelchair. So yeah, so we started the race, and I was able to do 2 miles. I did almost two laps of the whole track, and I'm very proud of that. But it's more like cheating because I had a motorized wheelchair. I could have done like as much as my battery could allow me, but that is what I could do for that time, and I felt like it was good times. And we had this fun moment when Julio, who can't see, was pushing me, and we did a lap together, but that was not timed. So we did an entire lap of Julio just pushing me, and I was getting him. So we came up with this clever thing where, because he had put his hands on the bar behind my wheelchair. So if I wanted to go right, I would touch him with my elbow like this. I would tap him. If it was a sharp corner, I would tap him continuously. I wanted to go to my right, I'd do this. If I wanted to go to my left, I would do this, and that is how we were able to do it. And that was such an awesome moment. Yeah, I wanted to do the video with my medal, because once you finish doing the run, you receive a medal, and I'm going to show you. Maybe if I can find it, I'm going to show you, but if not, I'm going to wear it in the next video. So yeah, what else? I met so many people, and something amazing about this year's run was that last year I was told that last year we had only 70 participants who came to participate in the run, but this year it was 800, almost 800 people, almost 1,000, 805 to be exact, who signed up for the run. And yeah, people were just having fun. People came on their wheelchairs with their children, with their wives, with their friends, and it was just a fun little thing that you did on a Sunday afternoon, just for a really amazing cause. So next year, make sure you are there, make sure you're counted, and make sure you register for it. So once the run was over, I was in contact with a friend of mine that I met on TikTok. Her name is Wairi Momokoro, and she does this TikTok where she educates people. Her TikTok is majorly, or not majorly, but purely about Kikuyu teachings, Africa traditions, and everything. But she does it in Kikuyu. So we had been talking on the DMs, and I asked her if it was possible for us to meet, and she said, "You just come, kuja home. It's not far from where you are." So yeah, I talked with my dad, who had driven me to Nairobi, and he was okay, and we went, and just like that, we went to a stranger's home. We were strangers in the fact that we had not met face to face, but we had been talking online. So we went and we had an amazing time. Alikuwa amepika chapati. She had cooked chapati and beans and cabbages, and you know me, I like spice, and she had spice in the beans. And the chapatis were soft and flaky ama inaitwaje, layered chapatis. So that was such an awesome end to like a beautiful day. After that, we just drove back to the hotel. I slept. We woke up on Monday. I was supposed to meet my friend Mark on the way. Mark also has a spinal cord injury. He lives somewhere hapo, sijui kwenye anaishi, sitaki kukosea, but hapo no, wacha nisiseme kwa sababu sijui exactly kwenye anaishi, but ni tu ukitoka Westlands, a few kilometers from Westlands ukielekea Limuru. Not aishi too far from Limuru. So tulikuwa to meet hapo. We were supposed to meet there, but our car could not access the place where he was because it was muddy and our car is very low, and tuko tunataka kukwama. So we just drove back. My dogs are making noise. I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, we drove back to Nakuru. It was a smooth drive. We got home safely, and right now I feel like right now that event is over. It was successful. People turned up, people registered, a lot of money was raised. 8.1 million euros was raised, and this was the 11th edition. So it started in 2013. So since 2013, now they've raised, I think, 56 million euros, and all that money is used to fund research for spinal cord injury. So who knows, maybe sometime in my lifetime, or maybe not in my lifetime, but we are going to find like a cure for it, a cure for spinal cord injury. Just imagine there will be a time where you break your spine today, and then you take a drug, or you go through some kind of treatment, or maybe a chip is connected, and you never have to use a wheelchair again. Just imagine. And it's not such a wild thing to think about, because I remember there was a time where I had like a serious case. Last year I had a serious case of blood infection, and it felt like no, it didn't feel like, but I was really, 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 really sick, and I wasn't feeling good at all. So but once I got like antibiotics and everything, I came back to I got back my health. So I was just thinking about it in the same case with spinal cord injury, that there will be a time where you are paralyzed from an accident, from illness, but a pill or a treatment is going to make that all go away, and you are going to be healthy, and you won't have to use a wheelchair. That is why I was so passionate about this whole project, for that reason, that maybe there's somewhere in the future that people don't use wheelchairs anymore. So yeah, that was my weekend. I'll be trying to keep you up to date to the things that I'm doing, the projects that I'm working on, the exciting adventures that I'm going on, and maybe revisiting things from the past where I've not shared before here on YouTube. And yeah, if you've gotten here, thank you so much for listening to me for as long as I have talked. I feel like I've rambled and rambled and rambled. Okay, I've kept on rambling, but yeah, thank you so much for being with me and spending this time with me. And yeah, just let me know in the comment section what you think about this type of content. And yeah, have a wonderful day, have a wonderful night, have a wonderful morning, whenever you're listening to this. And yeah, God bless all the time. Goodbye.